to say thank you very much, President and the Council, and the members of your executive, as well as all the alums of class of 95 of Federal Government College, Enugu. Thank you that I could join you at your dinner this evening. I have to tell your guys at that end of the table that I'm not usually of good behavior when people talk when I have a microphone, simply because it just sort of says that there's something more important than what you ask us to come and talk about, and maybe it would be better if we did that on our own. It's my Madame Due Process kind of mentality. I just believe in discipline, and I think in many ways it's not something that we deliberately do. It's just that we tend toward chaos. So we find ourselves doing it, and I always correct it. Pardon, but I always correct it, because I say to people that the reason we must listen to the person that is talking is because it would actually help us generate ideas for what we're supposed to say. You know? So when I came, pressing that I had to come and have this conversation, one part of me sort of said, let this Federal Government College people leave me. And it was for good reason. Because I carry a very deep disappointment in my spirit that we're 11 years since after I left as Minister of Education, and you're still at this. You're still bemoaning the situation of your schools. When I got to the Ministry of Education as Minister of Education, I was not the typical minister who would just carry the files that had been given and just continue to go around and maybe make speeches. I wanted all the data that would tell us the story of the state of our education sector. Data matters to me. Everything that I do has to be driven by data. And so all the indicators that would show the state of education. First, I had been angry going to Ministry of Education because I had just finished, I was at the tail end of a very intense reform of the mineral sector. And that sector, in that sector, through the data process of understanding what a really well-run mining jurisdiction would look like, that would make it a magnet for global capital into the sector. We ended up with what we call Agenda 107 items. That those were the items of reforms that included what you today have as the minerals law, that was passed in that sector, the whole dismantling of the structure of the ministry. I inherited a ministry that had a technical ministry that had 5 administrative type departments and 1 technical department. So clearly it wasn't going anywhere. And the way that the sector was driven was, ministers would go to conferences carrying things that look like gemstones and tell the world we have minerals. The world didn't understand that. Because that's not the way that sector works in the world. So what the world needed was data. And so part of the 107 items included the airborne geophysical survey of the entire country. That was the first time we did an entire coverage of the country. So today we have data that tells us where the occurrences of minerals exist in our country. And also we have to do the geological survey agency and make it a world-class institution. Brought back the Nigerian in the diaspora that was head of geological survey at the Commonwealth, Professor Malamo, and he began to build a world-class geological survey. One of the things I'm immensely proud of. Part of that reform involved our having to establish what we know as the mining cadastral office. Because I couldn't understand why, as a minister, what you needed to do was to sit in the office and be granted licenses. In what world? Ministers are not supposed to engage in transactions. if your colleague minister in well-run countries are about vision, policy, and strategy, and you're sitting waiting for people to come and sit before you so you will issue them license, that is such a misuse of strategic and visionary time. So we did all of those kinds of reforms, driven by data. I did all of this so that you can understand how technical it is to solve problems. And then the president said, oh, he woke up one day and said, for many years in his administration, remember we are in the last year of the administration, essentially, for many years in his administration, that I kept saying to him that I'm not sure that finance is the problem in education. That because as part of the due process work, I had done a back of the envelope analysis of the structure and the composition of the financing. That is the budget allocation for education. And as a key member of the economic team, as we kept getting the fundamental reforms in macroeconomic policies right, I began to say that a sector like education was very important for us to not lose sight of, and that these were going to be very important reforms to make sure that we did something about it. It wasn't because I didn't come home to be a minister, as a matter of fact. I had refused to be a minister when I got back. Because I wanted, the reason I came back was to fix that public procurement leakage. It was an obstacle to development prospects. If the country was earning so much and yet it was not showing up in development outcomes, the fastest thing you needed to do was to get a hold on value for money in the way that government was spending its resources. So coming to home to do public procurement reform was my vision, not to become a minister. So I didn't want to have anything to do with that. Ultimately, some reason prevailed, and so I agreed to do that whole thing in solid minerals. So with the education one, I was thinking, not because it was something of any, it was just simply as part of my process of understanding that governance and the outcomes matter for human development, and that if you did not get that right, you could do everything, and yet you would not be able to be a stable and prosperous society. So with the education, President Ezekwesili said, even though it was just a few months to the end of the administration, he woke up one morning and said, I need to do something, even if it meant just understanding what it was. Yes, I know. Those phones are ubiquitous. It will help me put it off. So, said, let's just do something about it. And he said, cool. And decided it was going to be me. It was going to pull me out of solid minerals, where I was getting very happy that closing time from work was no longer 2 a.m. on the average. It had come down by the time he pulled me out of that to 8 p.m. Because out of the 107 items of reforms, we already did 97 of them at that time. So I was getting I was getting a breather, sit well, and then go to education. I was angry. Because I thought, no, come on. I go to education. God knows how many reforms I would have to do in education. If solid minerals was 107 items. When I got to education, and this data thing that I'm talking to you about, because it's important of us for being comfortable in a country where we were fast losing the basis for our stability and future prosperity. Because I thought, my God, so I could also have been in government and then we would have left thinking, we were investing in education. It was not true. I give you a proxy for measuring what was going on in education. Let's let's understand that no matter the state of an education sector or whatever, it is the learning outcomes that determine what that education sector is delivering.
Absolutely.
And so we looked at learning outcomes and used the graduation from secondary school with 5 credits included in English and mathematics as a proxy. And we said, gather the data for a decade up until the time that I was minister. And, why set everything. And we did the trend analysis. It was telling. It started falling sharply 10 years before that, when from 73 it went to 60. And then from that 60, every year it just kept falling. By the time I was minister, what was worse? The unity schools were being the national average of that 32%. And I thought to myself, no, this is not. There's something wrong with this. So I said, okay, if the education, if the outcomes are like this, what story is the funding of education telling us? Let's map the budget, resources for education, and find the correlation between the funding and the learning outcomes and annual performance. And what we found was very interesting. The sharper the aspect of funding, the faster the decline in the outcomes, in the learning outcomes. So less people graduated with 5 credits included in English and mathematics. The more money was put in education. So clearly, money was not the solution. So I ended up with a statement that I continue to make to countries when I speak to their leaders about education. If your education system is dysfunctional and you decided to fund it well, you're not going to get a better outcome. What you're going to have is a well-funded dysfunctionality. That's exactly what we have. So when I listened to you saying you will raise funds and you will do this, I heard all of that at that time. And I said, no. Structural problems can only be solved structurally. Oh, there's an engineer. Your speaker is an engineer. So he knows, and those of the rest of you that are engineers know, you can't solve a structural problem by some band aid, they call it bandage. You can't. You can solve a structural problem with, some episodic kind of superficial, cosmetic, short-term antidote. You have to go to the structure of what the root cause. So we said, what happened? I will tell you the story of, and a story that tells you what happened. A file gets on my desk, and it's a file that the permanent secretary has sent onto my desk saying, Madam Minister, please approve. And then I read what the story is about. That file arrived at the ministry some 8 weeks before I was being asked to approve it. When it arrived, my permanent secretary minuted it to the director, who minuted it to the deputy director, who minuted to the assistant director, who minuted to the chief education something, who minuted to the direct desk officer for a certain federal government college, not your own. And I'm not trying to be politically correct by saying it's not yours, it wasn't yours. And it was from the principal. And what was she requesting? The approval of Madam Minister to permit, authorize, to suspend 2 students who were caught smoking in the class.
I'll do it. No, don't wait. Because time don't see she then.
There's something structural in this. I said, we look at your face.
I'll just continue.
Why did she need my authorization? Because she had no autonomy and still has no autonomy. Because I am as minister at that time, I was the person running the 100 and thereabout unity schools. And so my energy was required in order to deal with something as basic. So I called my permanent secretary and I said, 8 weeks since these guys were caught smoking in, and the file has traveled from the table to one table to another table, and now it's come back up, because that's usually what happens. So that desk officer began to send it back up to the person who sent it to him. That one sent up until it got to my permanent secretary, and then he sent to me. That was how come it took us 8 weeks. So I said, by this 8 weeks, I believe that some 3 other boys have joined the other 2 to also smoke in their group. We have to change this structure. Because without school systems that have principals with the power to be able to make decisions quickly and to be able to organize the resources that are required to solve problems at the school system level, you cannot have improvement in learning outcomes. You can't. So what did we propose? We looked at all options. We looked at the option of saying, let the schools be given to each of the states in which they are. So we said if we did that, that option was not a good option. Because we said if you did that, you would not have a basis to say these are the model schools. Remember that according to the Constitution, education is on the concurrent list, but secondary education is not really one of the areas of focus of federal. It was a special program to have the federal government invest in secondary education through the unity schools. It was a special initiative. So the unity schools were supposed to be models for secondary education at all the other levels at the other level of government, of state, which is the main actor in the provision of secondary education. So he said, wait a minute, we lost it. We can't be a model right now. But if we handed the schools to the states, that would be the end of it. So that option was not on. The other option was, federal government, why don't you just let these schools go? Let there be, operators of school that care to take them over and just, take them over as private schools. We said, no, this is also not an option. We looked at, that's what decision-making process is all about. You are analytical about your options. We looked at that. It wasn't a good option because that option was going to compromise a lot of things. First, it was going to compromise the idea that the son or the daughter of a carpenter could go to any of our unity schools and receive excellent education that would take them socially and economically from one level of generational gap to a new level. The third option was, why don't we have a public-private partnership whereby it is a partnership that is not for profit, but a partnership driven by people with an altruistic stake in the schools. And so we have to say, who are the people with an altruistic stake in the schools? All students, parent-teacher associations, education foundations that simply say, we care about education, we want to do something different about education. Not for profit people. So we went to council, presented, defended, looked at all of this, and council agreed with us that that option of the non-profit PPP was the best. And in the design of the approach, what we said was that the ministry was going to perform the role of regulator and trustee of the unity schools, but it would create an entity outside of the ministry, so it's not, it's not overwhelmed by the bureaucracy that was ensuring that whatever resources were designated for unity schools ended up at the school level anemic, even though they started off appearing to be obese. So we said we would have a unity school trust. That unity school trust will be the regulator of all the SMOs, meaning school management organizations. So if all students of federal government college were the ones that presented the best case for what we're going to do with their school, they automatically would be the ones that would get the right to run their schools. With what? With the budget that was being squandered as subvention, annual subvention, against a certain set of metrics of performance that they must present. Performance being things, like academic performance and all others in terms of efficiencies in management of the school system. We designed it in the kind of way that the growth part of the schools would have been totally unhindered, and we would not have had reason to stop one part from growing because the other part isn't growing. So it was a competitive thing that would have ensured that the children of the poor who were no longer actually getting the opportunity, because part of what had happened was that the schools had become what was that what I used to call them? They were like a potpourri for bureaucrats in the ministry who sold admissions to the school. I couldn't understand that. So, admissions were not given on the basis of merit. Everything was wrong about what one would say. We needed to bring back that excellence, academic excellence, as a basis for having the opportunity to go to these schools. I recall, once saying, a professor, actually the dean of my own school at Harvard, saying that, people say Harvard is such a great school. They don't know that we were only great because we're clever. And we said, what does that mean? He said, we go around the world and find the best students wherever they may be. And we invite them to our platform. And they say Harvard is a great school. So it's really not the school, it's the students that we find. The unity schools used to be that. So no matter the background, for as long as you were great, you could find yourself at the unity schools. We have lost that. We needed to bring it all back. The benchmarks for how to do that, and for the subvention from government. So that budget for unity schools would have gained back its efficiencies, its value for money, and the kind of outcomes that was necessary. And we started the process of getting people who design the whole arrangement, and then put out expressions of interest. King's College Old Boys entered their expressions to run their King's College, Queen's College, Old Girls, all these various schools. I don't remember what happened with yours again, but your alum must have been part of it, but I don't remember. But what happened was that we actually designated those that submitted the best proposal for running these schools on a non-profit PPP basis. But guess what happened? What happened was that all of you were busy with your lives. And that's where I end my talk. In any society, governance can be looked at as though it were a market. Every market has a supply side and a demand side. The supply side is government, those that run it, its institutions, its agencies, its policies, its processes, and everything you can imagine that government does. The demand side are the citizens of the country. Where there is a supply side without an active demand side, the supply side behaves like a monopoly market. Those of you with basic economics know that a monopoly market is the worst type of market. Because a monopoly market does not give you anything in terms of pricing, price competitiveness, or quality. The monopolist is a price giver. They have no incentive to be efficient. They have no incentive to be price competitive. So if in governance you're operating with just one hand, the supply side immediately begins to behave like monopolies. So we did that reform, and most of you that are today worried, 11 years after, still worried, were missing in action. So what do you think happened? Those who I call the reform resistance army, who knew that there was fundamentally going to be a loss, rose up in unison and said, they want to sell unity schools. They knew it was a lie. They knew it was a lie. But it's so. And some of you did not even bother to find out. Because there are times when some unity school person comes, he says, man, I really like you, but I want to know what you were trying to do with my unity school. I said, go and read. Go and read. Because I just cannot understand how anyone can be a functional citizen in a society and not be driven by a quest for knowledge. To be able to know what goes on, to be able to know what the policies in the society that you live in. And you simply say, I'm doing okay. No, you're not doing okay. However okay you think you're doing, you could do much better than that. If you would be an informed and active citizen. And so, by the time I left, the hawks that wanted that status to remain, because it offered the opportunity for the corruption. Yeah, the reform resistance army basically said, thank God. And so, unity schools stayed stagnant. Not stagnant, because 11 years after, the conditions have worsened. And sadly, that initiative that we thought of, it was, God helping us to think of solutions. You must have the capacity to think of policy solutions in your environment. When you're trained to think the same set of solutions some European countries were so glad to have me. European countries were so glad to have me help them to think of it and to adopt it for their failing school systems. Here we are, on a good night, about to have dinner. But listen to me. This is a very false life. Because any society where social and economic mobility is not assured for the larger number is a society in peril. The kind of social destabilization that we see signs of is clearly because things like Unity School were supposed to then operate at scale. They were supposed to set the path for the knowledge of how to run good schools, public schools, to happen at the basic and secondary level at the state levels. It would have guaranteed that many more Nigerians would be given the kind of quality education that Ms. Engineer Madu was just talking about. He said something remarkable. 20 years from now, there won't be anybody more that would paint the picture of what the Unity schools in their heydays used to be like. Was it not the vulture that is said, said that if death should come, it should please leave one person behind, so that elderly person would tell the children that the vulture is not chicken. Otherwise, they would kill the vulture and eat. The Unity schools represent almost a symbol of a failed society. You can use the Unity School as a metaphor for what happened to us as a people. And then think of an idea to solve it. And because the people are busy with other things, the vested interests that don't want the status quo to change jumped in and truncated. It's a good thing that you're building toilets and building bathrooms. But I can tell you that if you looked closely at the budget of FGC that was submitted at the ministry, there would have been provisions for that. So you have to ask yourself, is this sensible? Is this what sound minds should do? Try to solve a problem by parachuting some episodic solutions? No. There is a fundamental issue involved. And I propose to you that the reason that you, Federal Government College, and your other 102 or so counterparts have not been able to solve this problem is because your story is the story of the proverbial chicken. You invited me over. So don't say, how did you go get this woman to come here today and do this work? I was sitting in my own room. I never had known you were having your dinner. So if you invited me, it means you want to hear the truth.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So the proverbial chicken. There was famine in the village. And the animals got to the point where they knew that death was coming upon everybody. They had to meet to decide what to do. And they consulted the oracle. And the oracle said, we would have a discussion on the second. And then announcement went around. On the day of the meeting, each animal was on its way to the village square. The chicken was in an opposite direction out of the village. Met with different animals. Where are you going, chicken? I thought we had a meeting. I have something very important I was doing in my grandfather's village. Sell it to every animal you could imagine. And also sell it to the tortoise. When they go to the village square, the oracle spoke and said the land needs blood. And everybody put their hand on their chest. Where would they find blood? To appease the gods. Suddenly the tortoise said, are you all thinking what I'm thinking? So what are you thinking, tortoise? Tortoise said to them, how many of you sold chicken when you were coming to this garden? Some of them. So what did chicken say to you? Apparently, chicken said to everyone, this meeting is so important. Whatever you people decide is okay by me. So the tortoise said to them, what chicken said to me was, whatever we decide at this gathering is okay by me. The oracles want blood. You know which blood we would have to offer. That was how the chicken's blood was offered to the land on behalf of the rest of the animals. It is the reason some of you will be selling chicken this day. So here is my closing. You are more powerful than you have acted. How can, imagine the number. I don't have the data, but I used to at that time, and I'm very careful about data. The number of products of unity schools in this country, and you're not able to articulate a sustainable policy arrangement to rescue the schools and fundamentally take them to schools that can compete with their peers anywhere in the world. In today's world, where knowledge is at an accelerated pace, in a world where the children start early enough to begin to drive all the thoughts that we're going to have about the second machine age, about the fourth industrial revolution, where these children all over the world are thinking in dimensions that are not in any way traditional to what we know. You cannot organize your voice to influence policy. The only reason that you cannot do that is that you're all chickens. That important thing in your grandfather's village is more important than rescuing your school. The day that you decided that you're going to sacrifice and be persistent and consistent and coalesce and use your voice in a democracy to build an effective demand side for the necessary policy change that would give this kind of autonomy for the management of your schools. That's the glory of not just FGC Enugu, but the glory of schools that were supposed to be the model schools, leading the part in the development of our human capital would happen. If you want to eat chicken tonight, as you eat it, remember that it is not a good idea to eat chicken.